So today we're going to talk about graphing quadratics in standard form, and then we're going to talk about how why this exists and all that kind of stuff. So before we taught this, we've been taught this vertex form. So we're used to things with a squared in them, looking something like this, and it's predictable, and we call it vertex form. Okay, that's what we call it. And we can graph this very easily, and we can, we just use the shifts, make the U. The issue here is that this is not predictable. We can still graph it, and we can do some things, but we need to find an alternative way to graph it, and then we're going to put it in vertex form, that simple form that we're used to. So step one is we're going to use the formula x equals negative b over 2a. So what we have to understand is that this is a, this is b, and this is c. So we're going to use x is equal to the negative or opposite of b over 2 times a. Now if there's no a, it's a 1. We have two negatives in a row, so it makes it positive. We have 2 times 1 on bottom, and then we divide. Remember, this is an x equals. Okay? So then step 2, where we need to plug in the answer that we just received, because we want a y equals. Okay? So let's do that. So let's go ahead and take this 4 and let's plug it in for each x. So we have 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 6. And then we're going to square first, and then we're going to multiply. So we have 16 minus 32 plus 6. Then we're going to put it all together to get negative 10, and this is a y equals. And I will put this in yellow as well, because in step 3 we have our vertex, and it is 4 comma negative 10. Alright, now that we have our vertex, I'm kind of running out of room here, we can actually plot this. So 4, negative 10. And this is our vertex. Okay, and then from here, everything is old news. So step 3, we don't have slope or anything, but we can find a y-intercept. We just put a 0 in, so we get 0 squared minus 8 times 0 plus 6. So we get 6 is y-intercept, or is the y-intercept. So 6 is all the way up here, like that. Don't forget we have the axis of symmetry here. We have half our u shape, and then we're going to reflect it over. So step 4 is we're going to reflect, if you need to write it. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, be right there in the middle of my steps. We have the graph. Don't forget we have x-intercepts, and we have y-intercepts. We have a minimum. That's the y-intercept right here. Okay, and we're going to write this in vertex form, and this part isn't hard. So we have y equals, and we have x minus 4 minus 10, and the a value is the same a value up here. So this a value is going to come all the way down and be a 1. And now we have in our easier form that we're used to. Any questions? Probably not, because you can't say anything. But if you do, let me know. We're going to do another one. Okay? This time I'm not going to write out the steps. I'll have more room. So we have an a, a b, and a c. And we use our formula, the opposite of b over 2 times a. So we have negative 8 over 2 times negative 2, which is negative 8 over negative 4, which is 2. Okay, I'm going to get my highlighter out so you can see that this is an x equals. And so to get the y, we're going to put that number in to x. We're going to use PEMDAS. So we use our exponents first, then we multiply, and then we can combine everything. So we have 11, this is a y equals. The reason why they're both yellow is because this makes up the vertex. So we have 2, 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's our vertex. Okay. Next, we are going to put a 0 in for the x. This is pretty simple because what it does is it gets rid of everything. So 0, 0, that's all gone. So this is the y-intercept right here. It's 3. We have the axis of symmetry. We have half our u-shape. Then we're going to reflect it over. And then we can get the other half of our u-shape. We have x-intercepts right here and right here. We have an axis of symmetry, a vertex, and we have a maximum. Okay, and that's that. So now we got to write it in vertex form. So again, these two highlighted things here, right here, this is what we're using in vertex form. We're going to put it in that easy form that we're used to. So x minus 2 squared plus 11. And then that a that we found is going to come down. So it's negative 2. And then that's our answer. So we've graphed it the hard way, and by graphing it, we can then just write the equation pretty simply. So it's kind of neat. I think that's all the examples I'm doing over this. They go pretty quick in the video. However, you may need to watch them 1 or 2 times or 3 times to actually pick it up. If you have any questions, let me know. You know where to find me.